Good evening. I'd like to call to order this special town council meeting, Thursday, January 11th, 2024. Please rise for a moment of silence. Let the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Allenson. Here. Fishbein.
Here.
Laffin.
Here.
Marone.
Here.
Regan.
Here.
Reynolds.
Here.
Tata.
Here.
Mr. Carmody, I believe, is dialed in.
I am also here. Thank you.
Thank you. So, as we stood at the end of the last meeting, there were 3 nominations for chairman. I can go right to calling the roll on the vote, unless somebody has something else to say or suggest. Okay. So, continuing with the procedure we started with Monday night, when the clerk calls your name, name the candidate that you will be selecting for chairman.
Allenson.
Tom Laffin.
Carmody.
Joe Marone.
Fishbein.
Joe Marone.
Laffin.
Laffin.
Marone.
Joe Marone.
Regan.
Laffin.
Reynolds.
Joe Marone.
Tata.
Councilor Marone.
Well, just in time in order of the roll.
Went to the 3rd floor.
We're calling the roll on the vote. You're naming the candidate you're voting for. It's actually your turn.
Before me, but I vote. Am I still a candidate?
We still have 3 nominations.
Yes.
Testa.
I'm here.
So, 9 councilors voting, 1 vote for Testa, 3 votes for Laffin, 5 votes for Marone. Congratulations, Councilor Marone. Mr. Chairman, your meeting for your remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much, Mayor. My apologies. A special thank you to those that supported me through this contentious process, especially Councilor Tata for her very kind words of nomination, and Mr. Fishbein for a second. Also to Mr. Carmody and Mr. Reynolds on the other side of the aisle. I noted that none of this was easy for any of you, and I really appreciate your faith and confidence in my leadership. I would also like to sincerely thank those of you that opposed me in this process. Dedication and resolve are not the kind of things that are forged in agreement, but in conflict. Your critiques and feedback provide me with a lot to consider and pray over. Now is my opportunity to prove that I can handle this important responsibility, and as chair, I represent all 8 of you in equal measure. None of us were elected to sit on the sidelines, and you all bring great things to the table. Your success is my success. Your failure is my failure. There's a lot to be done, and I sincerely look forward to working with all of you to move Wallingford forward. I spent a lot of time reflecting on what I would say if I were chosen for this position. My message to the residents of the town is this: if you want to see things change quickly, you may be disappointed. If you want to see things change slowly or not at all, you may also be disappointed. I will be deliberate in my duties, if nothing else. You identify a problem, you create a hypothesis, you test your hypothesis, and based on your results, you alter your methods. You take measured risks, and you assess the results, and that's how I plan to move forward. I've pledged to and will question and debate our new mayor, as I will the rest of this council, on the best way to move forward. But I think it's also important to point out that before he was Mayor Cervoni, he was Chairman Cervoni, who I also vigorously debated with and argued with, as I saw my role in this process. And before that, he was just my friend Vinny. And my friend Vinny played guitar with my 8-year-old son at his birthday party. And my friend Vinny used to offer us a glass of wine on Halloween while my kids played with his dogs. And my friend Vinny used to go door to door with me when I very first ran for office, where we would talk about family and food and all kinds of things. So when I say that Mayor Cervoni or especially Councilor Laffin are good men, that's not just talk. Right? I know them as people, and I know them as good people. We're all sinners. We all make mistakes. We all can improve, especially me. But I know at their core, they're good people. The office of mayor is a very serious job, worthy of respect and a certain reverence. In my heart, I struggle with the transition from my friend Vinny to Mayor Cervoni, and there are things that I would only say to Vinny, my friend Vinny, or Chairman Cervoni, that I would not say to a sitting mayor. Bill Dickinson is literally the only mayor I've ever known in my entire life. When he and I occasionally disagreed over the method, I knew he always had the best interest of Wallingford at heart. Wallingford could not have selected a more decent man to replace him as Mayor Cervoni, who absolutely loves this town, as do I. This general election is over, the chairman debate is over, and now I ask us all to come together and do our absolute best for the residents of this town, and also to support our new mayor as he adjusts to his new role. Thank you, and may God bless Wallingford. All right, and then now we move on to the election of the vice chairman. Any nominations for vice chairman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know every time I look over there, I'm going to say, where's Mayor Dickinson? But thank you, Mayor, for starting this meeting. Christina Tata has been up here, I think, 2 terms now. And before she got up here, Christina and I never talked. And Chris Shortell, who I very dearly miss up here, told me that you're going to like her. Chris, you were right. I always told him he was wrong, but I'm willing to say when I was wrong. And I was wrong. The electorate recognizes that also. Never seen numbers that large. Obviously, the public, in addition to me, likes Christina Tata. Likes Christina Tata being up here on the council. I'm very happy to say that I was wrong and to nominate Christina Tata to be vice chair of this council. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And I would like to second the nomination of Christina Tata for vice chair of the council. If you watch these meetings, you know that she's always superbly prepared for the meetings. She pores over the agendas. She writes comments in the margins and notes and has cogent questions to ask during the meetings. She's deeply involved in our community. You may not know this about her, but she's become an emergency medical responder in the North Farms Volunteer Fire Department, which I think is pretty amazing. She's going to fire school in a few weeks to learn to fight fires. I've known her for a very long time. I know that she's reliable. She's consistent. She has a very cool head and a thoughtful demeanor. We often discuss council issues. In fact, we had an issue recently where some comments were made about the police department, and I called her the next morning to ask what she thought. She had already talked to the police chief, and the issue had been sorted out. So, to be entirely frank, with all of her hard work, her contacts, her being the number one vote getter for council in the past 3 general elections, my suggestion was that she run for chair, and because I thought she would do an excellent job. And she refused. She said she wasn't interested this time, but I think that vice chair is what she really deserves. So on a personal note, in politics it can be hard to find people you trust. I explicitly trust Christina Tata to do a fantastic job as vice chair. Any other nominations for vice chair? All right, seeing none, can we call the roll on Christina Tata for vice chair, Madam Clerk?
Allenson,
Yes.
Carmody,
Yes.
Fishbein,
Yes.
Laffin,
Yes.
Marone,
Yes.
Regan,
Yes.
Reynolds,
Yes.
Tata,
Yes.
Testa.
Yes.
The motion is unanimous. Congratulations, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, everybody.
And seeing no other business on the agenda, this meeting is adjourned.
We're not doing number 6.
No. No, because if we didn't have any.